I'm going to talk about what size rear blade is right for a subcompact tractor and what to look for when you purchase one. Kubota recommends a 4-foot blade for the BX, but since the BX is about 42-44 inches wide, in some cases wider if you have wheel spacers, if you angle the blade, it may not cut your tire tracks out. So most people go with a 5-foot blade. 5-foot blade, in my opinion, is the best size blade for these tractors, because when it's angled, it still cuts your tire tracks out. Another blade that I see people going with is a 6-foot blade. In my opinion, that is not a good size blade to go with, because you have a narrow tractor and a really wide blade. If you run up over a bump with it, the edges of the blade are going to be sticking up off the ground several inches and not going to be doing anything. It's also too wide of a blade for a small tractor to handle. And last, just thought I'd throw it in here, is a heavy-duty 7-foot blade, which is definitely way too big and way too heavy for a subcompact tractor to be handling. These heavy-duty blades are also available in a 6-foot, which would be too much for a subcompact tractor also. First blade here is a Woods RB60. It's currently discontinued by Woods. They kind of cheaped out on their new blades to compete with the farm store blades, and I really don't care for the new blade that replaced it. I can't remember the model number off the top of my head. These little blades here are very, very nice for a subcompact tractor. It's a nice heavy-duty blade for a tractor this size. When you start looking for a blade, be sure it has a curved cutting edge. Some blades, very cheap blades, may only have a straight cutting edge. It's not too common to see that, but straight cutting edges are for attachments with down pressure. Curved cutting edges or for implements that rely on their own weight to do cutting. And since we're down here at the cutting edge, this portion of the blade is called the mold board. I recommend you look for one with a curved mold board, because if you're going to be using it for snow removal or even for dirt, the curved blade allows the dirt or snow to roll and actually pulls a little bit easier than what a blade that is made in a brake. And by a blade that's made in a brake, I mean a blade that comes up on an angle, then straight, and then on an angle. That's like your blades you'll find at the farm store and the new Woods blade that replaced this blade. Now this blade here also has a tilt feature. You can pull a pin out and tilt it, I think 15 degrees either way. And you can angle it 5 different ways in the front, 3 different ways in the rear. I've found in a lot of cases that if you go all the way on the angle, even on a large tractor, it's going to drag your tractor sideways if you're using it for snow or even sometimes using it in the dirt. One thing I do not like about this blade is the main framework is attached with a bolt. I wish they would have had a bolt welded on down here and then a castle nut so you could stick a cotter key through, because you got to leave this bolt a little bit loose so you can still angle your blade, but yet then if you get it too tight you can't angle the blade. But with it being loose, it'll also work loose itself. And yes, I've put Loctite on it and it does not help. Then another nice feature for a blade is a park stand, because you don't want to be picking the blade up and trying to hold it there while you're attaching your lift arms. Then this blade is also quick hitch compatible. Comes with the top link bushing already installed. Then of course I added the bushings for the lift arms. One thing I forgot to mention is that the newer Woods RB60 blades have a bolt hole here, and then you use your cutting edge bolt. So this blade can be offset, but again, in my opinion, offset on a blade this size on a subcompact tractor is not going to be that usable, because it's going to drag the tractor sideways. This blade here comes in at around 250 pounds, so it's not too heavy for the little subcompact tractors, but yet it's still heavy enough where it cuts pretty decent. Then we'll come over here to this Land Pride blade. This is an older blade. It's not quick hitch compatible, so if you have a quick hitch, you might want to take a tape measure with you to measure the top link spacing and your lift arm spacing. Most of the time on quick hitch implements, I've found that the lift arm spacing is correct. It's just the top link spacing that's off. A lot of the times there's an obstruction to where you cannot get your top hook of your quick hitch in there. But this blade would be very simple. Just drill a 3/4 inch hole and it'd be quick hitch compatible. You can see the framework on this blade is not quite as beefy as what the Woods is. You can kind of see the curved mold board a little better maybe. Definitely the cutting edge better since it's setting up on a pallet. This blade has the holes where it can be offset. If you're looking for that feature on a blade, that's what it looks like. And here's the castle nut that I was talking about, like I wish the Woods blade had. That's just a lot better design. Alright, so now back to the tractor up to the 6-foot blade, just so you can kind of get an idea of how big that blade really looks on this little tractor. You can see it sticks out past the tractor about a foot on each side of the tire. If your tractor does not have a loader, be sure to get some weights on the front of it for ballast, because the front is going to be light and it will improve the performance of the tractor. Also, if you get a heavy rear blade and have a quick hitch on there also, it'll probably be a pretty good ballast for using your front end loader. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it is helpful in selecting a rear blade for your subcompact tractor. Let me know in the comments section below what blade you have for your subcompact tractor.